How many of you have noticed that the healthier you get, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, the less tolerance you have for drama? Now, let me preface this and give you a little bit more information about what I'm talking about before you answer this question. I don't know if it's just me or if this is the norm. I have noticed that as sensitive and compassionate and empathetic as I am, the healthier I get, the more irritated I am by nonsense. When I say nonsense, I'm talking about unnecessary drama. I'm talking about gossip. I'm talking about who's sleeping with who. I'm talking about who's getting the job promotion, who's going through a tough time, who's struggling right now, who's going out with who. Just the crap that is unnecessary for us to waste our time thinking about. I'm talking about in real life, but I'm also talking about in television and movies. I know that television, music, movies, games, they're all there for entertainment purposes. I get that, right? I get that. Just bear with me. I admittedly, have been a huge fan of Downton Abbey. I was feeling a little bit like watching Downton Abbey the other day. And I got to this one scene, which I did a short on a while ago, where Lady Grantham, the grandmother, is picking up Robert's sister. What is her name? I can't remember. Those of you who are fans of Downton Abbey will know who I'm talking about. Anyway, Lady Grantham met up with her at this train station, picked her up. And as they're leaving the train station, Lady Grantham went into this big spiel about how it's a mother's right to know this, that, and the other thing about her child, her adult child, no less, in distress, supposedly. But then she said something about how he's a man, men don't have rights. Robert, speaking about Robert, the father. And this is his mother talking. So basically emasculating men. It's supposed to be a funny, line to entice and impress and get a giggle out of women that are obsessed with this show. And it's the stupidest line I've ever heard. He's a man. Men don't have rights. I mean, I apologize if this is one of your favorite shows and you never picked up on that line. I'm telling you, it ain't healthy. Women these days, we gotta be smart. And that's a disrespectful thing to say about men, especially good men. And it's sexist. If any television show on the planet had that same quote pertaining to women, she's a woman, women don't have rights, all the shit would hit the fan, and you know it. So I heard that quote and I cringed. I went, ooh, that's not good. That's not okay. Then there was another scene from another episode where Cora was in the bedroom talking to Lady Grantham, her mother-in-law, and Robert's sister. And she's chastising them for not telling her sooner about Edith's baby, that she has a grandchild. And then after she chews them out for not saying something sooner to her, they say, well, what about Robert, her husband? What about the father? He should know. Not the father of the baby. It's Edith's father, the grandfather. And Cora, the mother, says, well, there's one thing I agree with, is that it's not our secret to tell. Well, what the hell is it then? If it's not their secret to tell her and she's going to chew them out, then how can she say that it's not her secret to tell her husband, the grandfather? So this is what I'm noticing. There's so much freaking drama in that show. The show is just a bunch of nonsense and drama. Am I right? Is anyone else picking up on this? Now, I listen to the storyline and I listen to the dialogue amongst the characters, and I think to myself, what the hell are we watching here? What are we watching? And we eat this stuff up. I think it's just a bunch of crap. Oh my gosh, apparently they feed the birds here. I'm passing a bird feeder and there's birds in it. I think I'm scaring them a little too much, so I had to keep walking. I got a little clip though. And I don't mean to offend anybody who genuinely likes that show, but it's so wrong. I could pick apart so many things in that show about relationships that are just flawed. The relationships, they're horrid to each other, and everything falls into place and ends up beautiful for each character on the show. It's like magical thinking. Between one episode and the next, problems are resolved stat. But it's not just TV shows though either. It's like all the popular culture, it seems. Like music. Okay. Who follows Kanye West? Okay. Who even acknowledges his existence? Because that guy is such a dirtbag, a sleazebag, that elevating him and having the paparazzi wanting his photograph for who? Who are you? Who are the people that are following him so diligently and looking for pictures and wanting to know what he's up to? Who the bleep cares? Oh, bad lighting. He's a dirtbag. Period. So, I don't understand Kanye West or any of his followers. A lot of celebrities are like that. I'm not here to judge you if you're a big fan of Kanye West. Let me clarify, okay? I just don't see the point. Why are we drawn into this stuff? And we wonder why we're not healthy. We wonder why we can't keep relationships, keep our relationships healthy, keep good relationships, develop new healthy relationships. It's no wonder, I guess, is my train of thought. And then we got smaller scale people, YouTubers and stuff, that are just doing stupid crap, and people that are just fueling our desire to want to hear about others' drama. Take, for instance, you guys know I used to be a huge fan of the Norris Nuts. They're an Australian family of 8 who exploded into fame when their oldest child, Saber, she was featured on Australians' Today Show. And after that video went viral, she was invited to be on Ellen, and the rest is history. That happened when Saber was about 11 years old, and she is now 19. And I unsubscribed from their channel, but occasionally I will chime in to find out what they're up to, if things have changed or what's happening, because I'm that stupid fool that just cares for people. And I feel like in the early years of their vlog, they were real people just telling their story, and you could relate to them, and it's what we liked so much about them, as they were just so cute. The kids were so cute, the family was so endearing and funny, and they were fun, they were entertaining, truly entertaining without all the drama. Well, now there's so much freaking drama, it's ridiculous. And the most recent drama is that Saber wants a nose job. Here's this absolutely stunning, gorgeous 19-year-old young woman with beautiful long curly hair and beautiful bright blue eyes, clear skin. She's athletic, she's fit. I cannot believe that she's griping or has an issue with her nose. I just can't wrap my head around that. We all have problems or issues with certain parts of our bodies. You know, some of us with straight hair would rather have curly hair. Some of us with curly hair would rather have straight hair. Some of us color our hair because we don't like the color we have. Some of us would rather be short if we're tall. Some of us would rather be tall if we're short. I mean, The list goes on and on. There's got to be men out there who wish they were more buff. There's got to be women out there who wish they were thinner. There's got to be people out there that wish they had clearer skin or not so many problems with acne. Or the list never ends. It never ends. Our dissatisfaction with ourselves and our lives. And I guess that's my complaint, is at what point are we going to be satisfied? If Saber gets the nose job, at what point is she going to be satisfied? First, the nose job. And if, because it's a 50-50 shot, she gets the nose job done, she likes the nose job, and then comes out on the other side and decides there's something else about herself that she doesn't like, and it's fixed with a surgery, just like that. And who the heck, by the way, at 19 years old has the money for a nose job? Well, I'll tell you who. YouTube pays them to get all their stuff and their nose jobs and their cars and their international trips. And you know what? I'm realizing that I'm coming across as being jealous. I'm not jealous. You know, of course, I wish money weren't so tight for me and my family. We have a single income household. It's me that works. And my husband's a full-time stay-at-home dad so that he can homeschool our younger son. And we do okay. We thrift and we cook. He cooks a lot of meals at home. I've told you before, he's a phenomenal cook. We have, for the first time in a long time, probably 12 years, we have a newer car. It's the car we bought out of my dad's estate, and we bought it because both of our cars broke down at the same time a year ago, this time of year. And it was very stressful and very hectic trying to get his estate settled and try to figure out if we could afford buying his car. And then we wound up getting a deal for it. That's the only reason we have a newer car. It's a 2019. And it's the first time. It's been very uncomfortable having a car payment when we've driven older vehicles for 12 years or 13 years, and we now have a car payment again. That was very difficult to get used to, but that's how we live. We do not have a lot, and we don't spend a lot. So I understand, like, there's a certain element to this that may sound like I'm jealous, but I'm not really. I'm super, super grateful. What's hard for me is watching other people be so incredibly greedy and so incredibly ungrateful. And I'm not saying that the Norse nuts in general are ungrateful. They've expressed a number of times that they are very grateful for what they have and for their fans that keep their channel going. But in this particular case, it's just exemplified. Here's Saber Norris talking about how dissatisfied she is with her nose, and I cannot help but be blown away by this. At what point did she start hating her nose? At what point in her life did she get to the point where she's looking at herself so critically in the mirror and thinks there's something wrong with her nose? This is a young woman who, back when she was 11 years old and she caught the world's attention by being so endearing and so sweet and so innocent and so precious on TV, has now become this very materialistic, self-focused, self-involved, image-conscious person who, you know, she seems to be very kind to her siblings and her parents. I don't know how much that is for TV or for YouTube. I have a hard time accepting that this sweet young girl has turned into this woman who is so image conscious and so critical, self-critical, that bothers me, because she is a beautiful young woman and she's so talented and she's so athletic and she's so funny. And I think there's more to her than just her nose. I think there's more to her than her image, and yet she really desperately wants to get her nose fixed. what is it? How did we get to this point? How did we get to this point where we're so wrapped up in image, materialistic things, watching other people's crappy lives unfold, like the Kanye West thing and the drama with shows like Downton Abbey that are just nonsense. And that's what this whole video is about, is me trying to wrap my head around and understand why we're doing this, why we're like this, why we enjoy this, why we're entertained by this, why we're captivated. And the healthier I get, the more I realize my intolerance for that kind of stuff is growing. And I read this quote on Pinterest the other day that kind of hits on this, and I wonder if that's what we're talking about. And I think that quote is brilliant. And it probably hits it right on the mark what I'm talking about. Because I cannot handle people's BS. Quit treating people like crap. Quit bothering with crappy relationships and crappy people and crappy situations. Let's fix it. Let's not be part of the problem. When I was talking to my husband the other day about this, he said, it's like reality has turned into the modern day soap opera. And he couldn't be more right. It couldn't be more right. I don't know, it was probably the 70s when soap operas really became popular and everybody got sucked in, but what is it about watching all this BS, crappy, dramatic, unhealthy, toxic affairs and jealousies and drama and BS unfold? What is it about that reels us in? Why do we watch it? And we wonder why our relationships suck. I don't think we should wonder that if we're being captivated by it in the entertainment industry. Are we captivated because it makes us feel better about our own drama? That's the only thing I can come up with as far as why we seem to be captivated by this nonsense. Instead of spending the time to slow down and think, or go to counseling, or do the work, do the therapy, or the self-education to get ourselves better, to work on our own relationships and make our lives better, and the people around us, help them be a positive and uplifting force for others. Why are we wasting time browsing Instagram and browsing TikTok and browsing YouTube for nonsense? These are all examples I gave. The Norse Nuts and Kanye West and Downton Abbey. These are just examples of modern day entertainment that I find flawed. But I'm not judging anyone here for their taste in music or television or movies. I'm really not. What's hard for me is I don't understand. It's creating more division. Certain things that are written into shows and movies just create more division. And if there's one thing we've learned in history is that we got to come together. We got to quit with the divisions. Divisions between genders, divisions between religions, divisions between races, divisions, This whole video is about becoming better. This whole channel is about becoming better. And I don't see us becoming better when we're poisoning our minds, poisoning our hearts, and poisoning our soul with nonsensical drama, where people are just being dirtbags to each other. And we call it entertainment, and we watch it over and over and over again. So I'm going to try to steer clear of the nonsense and stick with the fun stuff and watch things like Sheena and Trid, who are absolutely lovely people, and their podcasts and YouTube channel has been so entertaining and positive and uplifting. And Dude Dad, who also, in conjunction with Charlie Barons and others, does very positive and uplifting. There's a bunch of others that are more positive, more uplifting, very entertaining, but they're small pennies. They're the minority compared to the drama that is out there and the BS and the nonsense that is not building us up and bringing us together. It is tearing us apart. Let's not tear each other apart. It's part of being healthy. Thanks so much for joining me on this walk, this gorgeous sunny day. It's still a little chilly, but that's okay. It's, 45, 50 out, but it's very sunny. So it's okay. It's my day off from the gym, but I'm taking a 2-mile hike. I'll wear myself out and I'll sleep good tonight. Thanks for tuning into Whole Wellness with Ann. Till next time. Bye.